Hey guys, it's SRC Reptiles, and today we're going to be taking a little bit of a closer look at the four newest babies that we have. So two of them you guys already know about, which is Quibbler and Pop-Tart. And then the other two, which you guys have only seen photos of, are Trusty and Pumpkin. So Trusty and Pumpkin are the ones that hatched on the 4th and the 5th of May. So at days 90 and 91. And they weighed 1.94 grams and 1.93 grams. So those ones I'll show you first. I haven't gone and put their names on their containers yet because they just recently came out. So it looks like, let's see who we have in here. I'm going to move that leaf real quick. So Pumpkin is really crazy, and then Trusty is normally not as wild. So we'll see. Okay, this one's Trusty, and it looks like he's all riled up, then never mind. So this one here is Trusty. And he's got some interesting patterns going on here. Oop, come here. They love jumping quite a bit, and it's funny because normally by a month, I've got them kind of tamed down a little bit. So here's what he looks like. Whoop! On the other side, kind of gripping his tail here real quick, so he can't just jump all willy-nilly. Don't want him to get loose since I've got him on the floor. So, but that is what he looks like. Whoop. Back into the container he goes. It's feeding time after this, so he'll be getting back out later. So I'm not going to hold that one too much because you can see they're pretty crazy still. And I know that that's been out of focus a lot, so sorry about that. Just was trying to keep him from getting away because obviously there's nowhere they can go under there, but it's a pain in the butt trying to get him out from under there laying on the floor and trying to scoop him up without scaring the crap out of him. Okay, so this one here is Pumpkin, the one that I am most looking forward to out of the two, because this one is so covered in pattern for being fresh out of the egg, but this one is extremely crazy. Like the most flighty of the babies I've had this year. It jumps all over the place. Okay. Okay, so you can kind of see how much pattern is going on with this baby, and I'm trying to move really slow so that it doesn't scare it. But it's got even drips going on after being out of the egg for only like 2 days. So much pattern that's showing up. And obviously it shows up a lot better when it's fired up. Crest structure doesn't even look that bad because you can see it's already kind of got that fold on the edge there. So this one's definitely going to be really interesting to see as it develops. I'm going to have to switch arms. It's going in my shirt. Come here. So anyway, this one here is Pumpkin. This is the one that flipped over its sibling's egg when it was coming out of its egg. Had it completely upside down. So one of my friends was like, you need to name it Diablo because it tried to murder its sibling. And I was like, You know, I should have though, because this baby's freaking crazy. Bouncing off the walls and everything. So you guys have probably already seen Pop-Tart and Quibbler, but these are the babies that are a month old, so you get to see the difference in size from a couple of days versus a month. So this one here, also one of the babies I'm keeping an eye on because it looks really pretty already. So this is a month's worth of progression, and you can see just how tame. Okay, anyway, my boyfriend was needing something. But you can see here, this is a month's worth of progress when it comes to handling, and you can see just how more tame these babies are after literally just a month. So it goes to show how crazy they start out and then what they end up being like, being handled daily. And they get held for probably a maximum of like 5 minutes because I get them out each evening to feed them. So that's the only interaction they normally have with me and my boyfriend. And of course they're just sitting on a paper towel half the time. We're not actually normally holding them. So, yeah, just to kind of show you guys, and obviously you can see they're a little bit bigger. Obviously these guys are 2.75 grams, I believe, and those babies were 1.94 grams. So not too much bigger, but just obviously a lot more docile. So this one here is Quibbler, and this is the other one I'm keeping my eye on because, or eye on, sometimes I talk really fast when I get excited. But you can see that it also has a lot of drip pattern and a lot of decent patterning, so whether or not this one turns out a tricolor, it will be an extreme. Harlequin is definitely what I can tell. Just got pin dashing, nothing too, like, spectacular. The pinned dashing reminds me a lot of Mischief, what his pattern looks like, so I'm thinking he probably got that from his father. And then I'll show you Pop-Tart, which looks a lot like Serenity, because Pop-Tart is a bicolor, and it's interesting because with Pop-Tart, you can definitely tell that they are a bicolor, versus where with Serenity, it was kind of like, well, when she's fired up, or when he, sorry, keep forgetting Serenity is a boy. But when Serenity is fired up, then he looks like a bicolor, but when he's fired down, he doesn't. And normally you go off of what they look like fired up for their morph, so I'm just calling him a bicolor brindle. Yes? Okay, so here is, and sorry I got interrupted again, but my boyfriend said it sounded like there was some animal outside being murdered by another creature, so that's interesting. It's kind of scary. Well, obviously, you know, it's just the way life is, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, well, that sucks. Anyway, in this lighting, you really can't see the difference in color, because the dark, the back, or, blah, 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 my words, I'm distracted by the fact that some animal just died across the street. You can kind of tell in the lighting, but you can see the back, or the dorsal, is a lot of a darker brown versus the side of the body is a lighter brown. Also, this one's going to be really interesting, this baby, because it's got a lot of white portholes already showing up after just a month. So, and it's funny how they'll just curl their tail around my finger. But you can see there's quite a bit of white spotting. So, and of course, all these are from Harmony and Mischief, and they have 8 babies, I think, so far. Yeah, 8 babies. And then we've got 3 more from them that are expected to hatch in the following months. So it'll be interesting to see how the other 3 eggs produce, if we're going to be getting any more of the bicolors or just the plain colored babies, or if we're going to be getting more of the extreme harlequins, which is what I was expecting. But again, the reason I sold Harmony is because she just was an inconsistent layer. She one time laid eggs in June and July, and then she didn't lay them again until December, so a huge area there, and where she's just kind of popping out random babies every so often. I kind of wanted a female that I kind of knew what to expect, and of course she didn't have lineage, so that also affects the price that I can ask for them and stuff. Now obviously sometimes when babies are like really amazing, and they do of course have lineage on their father's side, but sometimes the no lineage of a parent doesn't really completely affect the price, but sometimes it can, so. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed getting to see the 4 newest babies. Of course, like I said, Trusty and Pumpkin are from a couple days ago, and then where Pop-Tart and Quibbler are from last month. So, kind of getting to see a progression of how 2 of them go from being completely jumpy like these new guys to being very calm in a month. So I expect these 2 here to calm down pretty soon after they're, you know, getting used to being handled when they get fed and realizing that I'm the one feeding you, so you can trust me. I'm not going to, like, you know, hurt you or anything. So the babies, they learn eventually. Anyway, guys, sorry I went on and rambled. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a good rest of your evening.